So this guy died today, October 22nd. His name was Nelson Bunker Hunt. Uh, he was a Texas oil baron who lost a lot of his fortune when he tried to. Him and his brother, I think, tried to like monopolize the uh, silver in the stocks or whatever. But anyway, he died at age 88. So I decided to look up more about this guy since he died at age 88, and I'm gonna make a video about the baseball game tonight because there was a lot of twos in the game, just as I had said, because it was October 22nd. But this guy actually was born on February 22nd, 1926, which would be 222, which is three twos. And I talked about how twos, fives, and eights can equal sixes, and then if there's nine of them, it would be 666. So he was known as a former billionaire whose fortune collapsed after he and his brother William Herbert Hunt tried but failed to corner the world market in silver. So I've watched other videos like if you check out Enter the Stars videos, he talks about silver and Ebola, and you just got to go watch his videos. But I just think that's interesting that the guy dies and he is trying to corner the market of silver. And he's also from Dallas, which just makes me think of Ebola even more. Now, his connection to Kansas City is that his brother, Lamar Hunt, was actually the founder of the Kansas City Chiefs. I just thought that was kind of interesting, considering the Royals are in the World Series. So him and his brother, they bought up like a ton of the silver, like a third of the world's silver. Um, I can't remember where I read that, but the price of silver collapsed 80% in 1980, and they lost their fortune. It collapsed on this day, Silver Thursday. So they ended up losing about something like $4 billion, but they were still they saved their fortune basically. But in 1988, the brothers were found responsible for civil charges of conspiracy to corner the silver market. And what ended up happening was this guy that died today, or on the 21st, he ended up having to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Where can I see that at? One second here. Okay, it's right here. So he files Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and when he started buying the silver, it was $11 an ounce. I mean, what are the odds that it was $11 an ounce, and then he files Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 1988, which would be your 11 and your 88s. That's just crazy. So in 2008, he became a member of the John Birch Society, and I'll show you them in just one second. So I went to the John Birch Society, and I really don't know what to think of it. They make it seem like it's like their main message is like anti-communism and limited government. And if you scroll down here, they talk about the Illuminati and let me find it here. All right, origins. So they're against the New World Order. They've basically got people like people believe they're like this like extremist group, but really when you read through it, I mean everything that you hear about nowadays is like what this thing was, what the John Birch Society was against. But the numbers around it make you question it to me because there's a lot of weird numbers surrounding it. I don't know if it was good at one time or if they're kind of doing like the Alex Jones thing where, he puts out decent information, but then he's so outrageous and like people just disbelieve conspiracy theorists or, I hate even saying that because I don't even believe like conspiracy theorist when the facts are right there and it's pointing at you. How is it really a conspiracy? It's a real thing. I can't understand that. But I wonder if that's what they're doing to this John Birch Society. But anyway, here it says this guy was like the leader, Welch. So he said both the U.S. and the Soviet governments are controlled by the same furtive conspiratorial cabal of internationalists, greedy bankers, and corrupt politicians. So I mean, they're totally against everything that's like going on in the world right now. But this is where I start to question it a little bit. Is that there's all kinds of stuff surrounding it with numbers. It's headquartered in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. And check out the coordinates of Grand Chute, Wisconsin. So that guy, Nelson Bunker Hunt, he joined in 2008, and he died at 88 years old a couple days ago. And their headquarters of the society are at 44 North and 88 West. So originally, though, it wasn't headquartered in this place. That's why I wonder if at one point it was a more legit thing, and they eventually got infiltrated or whatever. But then when I clicked on, it says it was originally based in Belmont, Massachusetts. So that kind of just debunks. I'm going to show you right here. It debunks what I was just saying, that maybe it got infiltrated after the one guy died. I couldn't find when it became to this. But anyway, let's click on Belmont, Massachusetts. And you scroll down. It's part of actually like right outside of Watertown, where Jokar or whatever hid in the boat. And they talk about that even in the history here. But look when Belmont was founded, on March 18th, 1859. So 318. 18 is 6, 3 sixes. So you have 3, 6, 6, 6, and then 59, which is 9 fives, which is 6, 6, 6 again. So the leader or the founder of the John Birch Society was Robert W. Welch Jr. And he had an essay, or there's a speech on YouTube. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it was called The Truth in Time. So I went to YouTube and I tried to watch some of it. But I mean, the first thing that shows up is The Truth in Time, 1966. So there you have your 66, which is 666. And then copyright 1995, you have 666 again. I mean, it's just the guy puts out great information on this video as far as what I watched, but it just makes me wonder when I see numbers like that on the video. It makes me really question it. So the John Birch Society was totally against the United Nations. And what I found interesting about that was that Harry S. Truman here. Okay, so on a previous video I showed that he was the only president who died at the age of 88, and he died in Kansas City. So once again, Royals, he died at age 88 in Kansas City. But so in like the United Nations, as it was getting going, they had a huge meeting in I think it was, I can't even remember, I should have pulled it up, but it's it was either June or July, and they had to get people to ratify this thing that they made up, and a lot of people like China and whatnot didn't sign it until October of 1945, but Truman signed it on August 8th, 1945. So you have your 8-8 again, and then that was 2 days after the Hiroshima, and then the next day was Nagasaki when they bombed that as well. But it's on this website here, it says that Nagasaki was the same day, which I don't know. It says the time was 11:02 a.m., and I don't know if that was in the United States or if that was in Japan. If it was in Japan, then it would actually be August 8th in the United States. So I just found that was interesting that he signed that the John Birch Society was against the UN, and then Truman, the only president who dies at age 88, signs the UN Charter on August 8th. Okay, so the commander in the atomic bombs was this guy right here, Paul W. Tibbets Jr., and he flew the Enola Gay, which just reminds me of Ebola. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with it, but Enola and Ebola, and then gay. I don't know. I think of blood disease and HIV, gay people. I don't know. Maybe I don't even mean to sound mean or whatever. That's just what I think they think when they do this. But Enola Gay, and so he's the commander of the 509th Composite Group, which when I think of 509, I think of Peyton Manning just the other day, when on Sunday when he broke Brett Favre's record with 509 career touchdown passes. Um, you scroll down here a little bit farther. No, you don't. You click on this guy here. So he was the commander of all this, and he was born on February 23rd, which is 223. So you have your skull and bones number once again, 223 322. He also died on All Saints Day, which is November 1st, which is a day where they wear masks and whatnot, and can't even remember, they worship demons and stuff. I mean, that's what they do on that day because it's All Saints Day. This guy also became the first heavy bombardment group to be deployed as part of the 8th Air Force. So he was part of the 8th Air Force as well. That's kind of strange. Oh yeah, and I forgot that when he was put into command on the 509th Composite Group, he was 44 years old. Um, I think that is all I have to say. I'll have to look again, but I mean, I just want to make sure. I mean, it's just pretty crazy that all of this connects and whatnot. I don't. I mean, there's nothing. There's no really any final comment. It's just if you got to start researching. I know there's so many people that I know who think I'm crazy, and I'm not crazy. It's right in front of your face. It's hard for people to understand it and start. I mean, it's just hard for them to believe it. But moral of the story is peace. Have a great night.